There once was a time when electric cars were just for early adopters and enviro-conscious hippies. Well, those days are waning away, and cars like the Nissan Leaf and the Tesla Model 3 are definitely here to stay. So, let's take a look at two of our favorite electron power cars and see how they stack up on range and charge times, power and acceleration, size, and price. Ready? Let's go! Tesla and Nissan have different versions of their EVs that can get you more range and performance, so some sections here may have more than one number. Case in point, range and charging. The Tesla Model 3 comes in, hey, what do you know, 3 versions. The Standard Range Plus can go for 250 miles on a single charge to its 54 kilowatt-hour battery. The Performance gets 299 miles with its 75 kilowatt-hour battery, while the Long Range makes some performance tweaks and goes big at 322 miles out of a 75 kilowatt-hour battery. Now, the standard Nissan Leaf can't really touch those numbers. The 40 kilowatt-hour battery has a range of just 149 miles, but the Leaf Plus, with a 62 kilowatt-hour battery, gets closer with a range of 226 miles. As for charging, Tesla and Nissan present the numbers in different ways. The Tesla Model 3 long range can charge at a peak rate of 250 kilowatts, which Tesla says is enough to gulp down 180 miles worth of range at a V3 supercharger station in about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, the Nissan Leaf Plus can charge at 100 kilowatts, which Nissan says it gets the 62 kilowatt-hour Leaf Plus to an 80% charge, or about 180 miles, in 45 minutes. Now, charging isn't an exact science, literally dependent on everything from the weather conditions to how hard you drove the car, so it's really impossible to do a direct comparison. But I can say this, the Tesla charges a lot faster. If you want to know about straight-up power numbers, well, Tesla doesn't publish those. Even after I inquired to the company, all I got was crickets. Nissan is a bit more traditional, and it says that the standard Leaf is rocking 147 horses and 236 pound-feet of torque, while the Leaf Plus is up at 214 ponies and 250 pound-feet of twist. Now, do you really need to know the exact spec numbers when Tesla's 0 to 60 times speak for themselves? The Standard Range Plus scoots to the benchmark in 5.3 seconds, the Long Range will do it in 4.4 seconds, and the Performance does it in 3.2 seconds. 3.2 seconds! Do you know how quick that is? That is this quick. Okay, so remember how I said that Tesla doesn't release horsepower and torque numbers? Well, Nissan doesn't release 0 to 60 numbers. The closest that I can get is from our roadshow review of the Leaf Plus, where our very own Stephen Ewing had this to say. Under full throttle launches, the Leaf Plus accelerates to 60 miles per hour in around 7 seconds, about a second quicker than the 40 kilowatt-hour model. I mean, I wish I had an exact number for y'all, but I just don't. I also should note that the Model 3 Performance model has a track mode for fun time slidey slides. That front-wheel drive Leaf is just not made for such shenanigans. Game, set, and match to the Model 3 again. So what about overall size? Well, the Tesla Model 3 has a wheelbase of 9 feet 5 inches, and the Nissan Leaf is much smaller at 8 feet 10 inches. Overall length of the Model 3 is 15 feet 5 inches, while the Leaf is at 14 feet 8.5 inches. The Model 3 is 6 feet 10 inches wide, the Leaf a much more svelte 5 feet 10.5 inches. And as for height, you're looking at 4 feet 9 inches for the Model 3 and a taller 5 feet 1.5 inches for the Leaf. However, interior space is pretty similar. The Tesla Model 3 has got 97 cubic feet of passenger space, the Leaf a bit less at 92.4 cubes. However, trunk space in the Model 3 is pretty tiny, a total of 15 cubic feet between the rear and front compartments, and that rear opening is pretty tiny. The Nissan Leaf with its hatchback styling has got 23.6 cubic feet of space behind that second row, or 30 cubes when it's folded. So I'm going to give the win here to the Leaf. Yeah, it's smaller overall, but it still manages to have a good-sized cabin and twice the cargo space as the Model 3. All right, looking at price now. The Standard Range Plus Model 3 currently starts at $37,900. The long range goes for $46,990, and the performance ups the starting price to $54,990 American dollars. Currently, Tesla's hands-on autopilot driving assistant is standard, but drivers can pay an extra $7,000 for the autosteer technology on city streets, which would come to the car through an over-the-air update at some point in the future. The Leaf starts at $31,600 for the regular range car and $38,200 for the Leaf Plus. Nissan's own ProPilot hands-on driving assist tech is available for an extra $2,000 on the top trim of the regular Leaf or $1,600 on the mid trim of the Leaf Plus. It is, however, standard on the top trim of the Leaf Plus. And of course, these numbers are all before any federal, state, or local incentives that you might have. So let's say you want a Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus, and that's got 250 miles of range and autopilot standard. So to match that with the Leaf, you'd need to get the Leaf Plus with 226 miles of range, but you would need to go mid-trim to even have the option of ProPilot. Now that mid-trim starts at $39,750, and you still have to add the $1,600 for ProPilot. In the end, it's $37,900 for the Model 3 or $41,350 for the Leaf Plus. So when you're looking at the trims that are the most comparable here between the Leaf and the Model 3 definitely comes out on top in terms of price. But you have to admit, if you go to that Model 3 performance trim, is that $50,000 price tag worth it? Our editor-in-chief, Tim Stevens, had a go in one, and he said that while the blistering acceleration was fun, the, quote, handling still falls short of the benchmarks set by the competition's premium sports sedans and their decades of refinement. I mean, is that still miles ahead of the Nissan Leaf? Well, yeah. But the Model 3's interface, no matter what trim you choose, is not the easiest to use, and simple functions often require multiple taps on the touchscreen, taking the driver's eyes away from the road. Bottom line, the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus has got a few more miles of range and can charge faster than the Leaf Plus, and it's quicker to 60 to boot. However, the Leaf has got more cargo space and it's got an easier learning curve. But I just don't think that that is enough to put it over the Model 3. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe because we've got a doozy coming up, y'all. We've got the new Bronco versus the Jeep Wrangler, and you do not want to miss that comparo.